Hello there. There are moments in life when you suddenly stop and realize you've walked through so many years, so many roads, so many turns, and yet something is still waiting for you up ahead. For Aries, that something is not just an opportunity. It's a new chapter where everything you've been through finally comes together, like a picture that's never been clearer. I'm not here to tell you a fairy tale, but to open a journey with you, a path where every milestone carries meaning, and every choice is a step closer to the strongest version of yourself. And maybe, just maybe, what you're about to hear today is the reminder you've been waiting for all this time. If you feel it, take a moment to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Because who knows, your story might be the spark that lights a fire in someone else's heart. Aries, picture August of 2025 as a doorway made of light, quietly opening in the middle of your life. No trumpets, no fireworks, just a subtle vibration like that first cool wind of autumn brushing against your skin, enough to make you stop, look up, and know something important is happening. This person, they won't appear exactly like the image you've carried in your mind, not necessarily a polished entrepreneur in a perfect suit, or a wealthy investor sliding million-dollar contracts across the table. They may arrive with bright, yet calm eyes, a voice that never rushes, and a smile holding stories they haven't yet told. They could be anyone, a fellow traveler on a flight, a stranger at a coffee shop, or the person standing next to you at a seminar. But just one handshake, one glance, one sentence will be enough to light a strange, unshakable spark inside you. What they bring isn't a material gift, it's an invisible key. A key that opens a door you never realized you've been standing in front of all along. They'll remind you why you started, why, inside every Aries, there's a fire that never dies even if you've forgotten it in the noise and weight of life. Their arrival isn't to hand you success like a wrapped present, but to awaken your power to act, to reignite your pioneering spirit, to help you see the opportunities that have always been within reach if only you dared to grab them. Maybe they'll offer a simple piece of advice you'll carry for life. Maybe they'll ask a question that changes the entire direction of your journey. Or maybe they'll become a companion, walking with you through landscapes of ideas you once thought you could never conquer. For Aries, this person is the catalyst, the drop of water that finally overflows the glass, turning potential into action and ideas into reality. And once the engine inside you starts, nothing can stop it. You'll see that true prosperity doesn't begin with what you're given, but with what you dare to create. That moment, if you're quiet enough to feel it, won't just be a meeting. It will be the ignition point of an 18-year journey where every step reminds you, you were born to lead, to pioneer, to leave a mark no one can replicate. And you'll see, real wealth isn't just the numbers in your account, but the power to turn your life force into value that touches countless other lives. You might notice yourself changing in how you listen, how you observe, how you seize a moment. You'll learn to spot opportunity, even when it wears the most ordinary face. You'll understand that sometimes the greatest things begin in conversations that seem too short to matter. And when you open yourself to moments like that, the universe will send you more, not just opportunities, but allies, ideas, and even challenges that grow you. And then, like morning light slipping between the leaves, touching the ground still wet with dew, you'll feel something new beginning to bloom. Something carrying both the mystery of destiny and the warmth of a promise. It will call you forward, not rushing, but never hesitating, because ahead lies a road that will take you into places you've never walked before. Places where the three most important areas of your life will rise together, stronger, brighter than ever before. It's that moment when the door to August 2025 quietly opens. You'll see not just one path before you, but three running side by side, each leading to a different part of yourself. And if you know how to step in rhythm, you'll watch all three open wider, merging into a powerful current that carries you forward. The first path is wealth and investment. Opportunities will come like rare birds, flying in from every direction, landing on your shoulder for just a moment. A new project, a promising contract, a potential investment, they'll arrive quickly, all at once, making the pioneer's heart inside you beat faster. But this is also where Aries faces its most delicate challenge. You might want to grab them instantly because of the fire in your blood, but sometimes that fire needs to be held inside the arms of strategy. Opportunities aren't just for chasing, they are for choosing carefully, arranging with intention like a master craftsman, placing each brick to build something lasting, not just something pretty. You'll learn to let instinct lead, but let wisdom steer. And then you step onto the second path. This is where you realize your true strength isn't just in what you do alone, but in who you choose to walk with. Relationships and partnerships, this is the ground where Aries draws in kindred spirits, people who carry the missing pieces of the vision you want to bring to life. They might offer skills you don't have yet, a perspective you've never considered, or resources you need to turn an idea into reality. But here lies a deep lesson while you open your heart to receive. Never lose your own voice. Partnership is not about blending until you disappear. Like two rivers meeting, they don't lose their nature, they create a bigger, stronger flow together. You must stay in command, know your boundaries, know the values you will never trade, so that every alliance becomes a harmony, not a fading of your light. And then comes the third path. It turns inward yet also leads you out into the world. Self-realization and influence. This is when the fire of leadership in you doesn't just keep you warm, but shines to guide others. Aries, you were born to lead, to clear the way, to inspire those still searching for their own road. And in this season, you'll find the chance to turn that pioneering spirit into a living brand, not just a name people know, but an energy they can feel, one that can't be copied. But you'll face the hardest door, perfectionism and the fear of failure. They are the stones that can block your flow if you let them sit in your path. Remember, true influence doesn't come from being flawless. It comes from daring to act even before you feel ready and letting others witness your growth along the way. These three paths don't stand apart. They're like three branches of a great river, all flowing back together into one stream, toward a place where every side of you is unlocked. Wealth will feed the freedom to expand your influence. Partnership will open doors for your personal visions to fly further. And self-realization will give meaning to every success, turning it into legacy, not just results. Once you see this, you'll know that every financial decision shapes how you collaborate. Every relationship opens space for self-expression, and every step of self-realization expands your ability to manage wealth and build alliances. It all moves in a circle, supporting, lifting, weaving together, and all of it is waiting for you to step in with the clarity of a strategist and the burning heart of a pioneer. And then, as you stand at the crossroads of these three roads, you'll feel something deeper, that these aren't just strategic choices, but pieces of a destiny map that's been unrolled for you. A map not drawn in ink, but carved in light, leading you from this moment all the way to the final years of this 18-year cycle, where a golden principle will reveal itself, like the final code, allowing you to blend it all into a masterpiece, alive and unshakable. Aries, there are gifts the universe sends you that aren't wrapped in silver paper or tied with a ribbon, but hidden inside an idea, a principle, a perspective strong enough to change the entire course of your life. And the stranger you're about to meet is the one carrying that gift. They won't hand you some formula for success copied out of a book. They won't promise that the road ahead will be lined with roses. Instead, they will quietly place in your hands a code, a golden principle distilled from years of experience, careful observation, and the kind of valuable stumbles that only life can give. It won't be loud, it won't be flashy, but when you apply it, it will open a door to lasting prosperity, not just for months or years, but for an entire chapter of your life. This principle blends two forces that may seem opposite, yet, like the sun and the moon, complete each other. On one side is the power of action, the ability to move the moment opportunity flashes before you, without letting hesitation steal your chance. On the other, the gift of strategic vision, the ability to see far beyond the next step, to map out the whole journey so that each move isn't just a quick reaction, but part of a much larger picture. Aries, you already carry the fire of action in your soul. You know what it means to leap forward, to break through, to be the one who opens the way when everything is still uncertain. But sometimes, that same passion can make you charge ahead without looking around, or ignore the signs telling you it's time to adjust your course. This code will help you keep the flame, but learn how to make it burn longer, brighter, and reach farther. You'll begin making choices not just on a rush of emotion, but on the foundation of wise calculation. Every step won't just win you today, it will lay the ground for the doors that will open tomorrow. And most importantly, you'll understand that being in control doesn't mean you must carry everything alone. It means knowing when to lead and when to let someone else take the helm alongside you. But for this code to truly work, you must be willing to welcome ideas and methods you once thought just weren't for you. You may hear advice that runs against the grain of your old thinking. You may encounter strategies that make you pause and ask, does this really fit me? Yet in those very moments of doubt, if you stay open, you'll discover treasures you've been overlooking simply because they didn't look like what you expected. Sometimes, difference isn't a threat, it's an invitation to expand your limits. And for Aries, learning to hold both bold action and deep strategy will make you someone who not only ignites the spark, but keeps the river of prosperity flowing. Picture yourself in a garden you've nurtured with your own hands. Each seed is an idea, each branch a project, each flower a success. This code will teach you how to plant the right seed in the right season, how to water just enough, how to give every part of the garden room to grow so that no corner is left in shadow. It's the balance between hunger and patience, between speed and depth. And then, as you start to live by this principle, you'll feel a shift, subtle but powerful. You're no longer just chasing opportunities, you're creating them. You're no longer just keeping the fire alive. You're turning it into a source of light and warmth for everyone around you. You're no longer only a pioneer, you're becoming the guide for a shared journey. In the stillness of long nights, you'll see your path more clearly. No longer rushing across unsteady ground, but taking steady, deliberate steps, each one echoing with the weight of a long-term vision. And from here, when this golden code has woven itself into how you live and move, it will lead you to a new turning point where the universe will place before you a very different kind of challenge. Not to hold you back, but to forge your resolve, strengthen your inner power, and give you the chance to prove that you truly are worthy of the 18-year road of prosperity that lies ahead. Aries, picture this. It's a night in March 2035, the sky draped in deep velvet black, and in the center the full moon begins to slip into shadow. That soft silver glow slowly swallowed piece by piece until the moment arrives the total lunar eclipse. This isn't just an astronomical event. It's a giant mirror held by the universe, reflecting deep inside you, exposing corners you've never truly touched before. And this time, the eclipse falls right on your sign, Aries. It carries an energy that is raw, intense, and direct. This isn't the kind of light that invites quiet reflection. It's the kind that pushes you to act, to choose, to declare. You'll feel it rising inside, like a wave building, driving you to a point where you simply can't turn back. It might be the moment when a relationship you thought was solid begins to crack, forcing you to ask, am I losing myself just to keep the peace? Or it could be when a major opportunity appears but comes with conditions that clash with your core values, and you have to decide, is it worth abandoning my principles for short-term gain? Aries, you are a pioneer, but you also care about the rhythm of the whole. At times, you've stepped back to keep things harmonious, but this eclipse will make you see harmony doesn't always come from compromise. Sometimes, to protect true balance, you have to be willing to create a little disruption. That moment will test your courage. You may see disapproving eyes, hear whispers behind your back, even face the cold silence of those who once stood with you. And yet, in that solitude, you'll discover something priceless, the quiet peace that comes from living true to yourself. The strength of personal conviction isn't about fighting everyone. It's about standing firm when you know the path you've chosen is necessary for long-term growth. It's like being a musician in an orchestra, forced to pause and tune your strings, even while the symphony plays on. That pause doesn't ruin the music, it saves the melody. The universe is using this eclipse as a test, not to break you, but to forge something new in you, the ability to hold your ground without losing your gentleness, to say no without shouting, to move forward without destroying, to guard your own path while still respecting the roads of others. And here's the wonder. Once you pass through that moment, it will feel like stepping over an invisible threshold. Everything around you will seem brighter, not because the moonlight has returned, but because the light within you is now clearer than ever. You'll look back and realize what you protected wasn't just a decision, it was your very soul. And when your soul is steady, nothing outside can shake your foundation. The universe knows to lead you into your next season of prosperity, you must carry not just the fire of a trailblazer, but the steadiness of a guardian, a keeper of your values, your principles, and your boundaries. And from that steadiness, a new chapter will open. One where the challenge is no longer about whether you can stand firm, but how you'll use that strength to heal the empty spaces, tend to the old wounds, and transform them into a source of energy that will sustain you for the rest of your journey. Aries. Some challenges don't come from the outside world. They don't show up as pressure or obvious obstacles. They rise from the deepest corners within you. These are the silent battles where the enemy isn't a person or a situation, but the invisible cords wrapped around your mind, keeping you in place, even when the road ahead is wide open. You know, with your pioneering nature, you're often driven by sudden sparks of inspiration. When an idea flashes, you want to run toward it immediately like an arrow shot with your full force. But there are times when you slip into another state where logic takes over so strongly. Every step gets slowed by endless questions. Am I ready yet? Is this really the best choice? What if I'm wrong? And that's when the tug-of-war begins. On one side, the fire urging you forward. On the other, the cold wind of doubt making the flame flicker. You stand between these two forces, and sometimes time moves faster than your decision. Opportunities are like migrating birds, they come and go with the seasons. And while you're still analyzing their flight path, they've vanished beyond the horizon. Aries, the lesson the universe is sending you isn't simply, be bolder, or slow down. It's to find the balance between those extremes. Because lasting success doesn't come only from speed, and it doesn't come only from careful preparation. It comes from the ability to move quickly when the door opens and to stay clear-headed enough to avoid shortcuts that lead to dead ends. That means learning a skill not everyone is willing to face, trusting your own intuition. Intuition isn't the same as impulse, and it's not the same as cold, hard analysis. It's the blend of experience, feeling, and that inner voice, the one you sometimes ignore in the noise of life. Think back to the moments in your life when you just knew the answer before there was proof, when you felt a path was right, even if every number and every piece of advice said otherwise. How many times, when you followed that feeling, did life open doors you couldn't have imagined? Trusting your intuition doesn't mean silencing reason. It means letting them walk together like two instruments in the same song. Logic keeps the rhythm steady. Intuition plays the surprising notes that make the music alive. When opportunity appears, give yourself a moment of stillness to feel how your body and mind respond. Sometimes, the answer isn't in the detailed plan, it's in that quiet yes you can't fully explain. And when you learn to trust that voice, something shifts. The fear of making mistakes starts to fade. You realize mistakes aren't the end, they're the stepping stones on your path. Each slip teaches you how to stand stronger. Each imperfect choice offers a lesson that refines your direction. Aries, you were born to leave a mark, not to stand on the sidelines waiting for perfection. The world doesn't need a flawless version of you, it needs a living, breathing version that dares to step, to try, to adjust, and to keep going. Picture life as a river. If you wait on the bank for the water to be perfectly still before stepping in, you'll miss the whole journey. The river of opportunity will always flow, and sometimes all you need to do is take a deep breath, step in, and let the current carry you to new lands. When you walk through this doorway, the one guarded by fear and hesitation, you'll find another space opening. Here, there are no loops of doubt or second guessing, only clarity. A clarity that doesn't come from knowing all the answers, but from trusting that even without all the answers, you can still move forward. And in that space, another image will start to appear, the image of you, expanded, freer, stronger. The version of you that knows how to steer your own ship through both calm winds and stormy waves. And from here, you'll begin to see more clearly the reward waiting at the end of this 18-year journey, not just wealth, but true freedom. A freedom that, once tasted, you'll never want to trade for anything. Aries, when you reach the final day of this 18-year cycle, you'll realize that everything you've walked through was never just about chasing wealth. It was about becoming a living symbol of strength, of creativity, and of lasting success. you'll find yourself standing in a place that once might have felt like nothing more than a distant dream. Financial freedom will no longer be an abstract idea. It will be the reality you wake up to every single day. You won't make choices out of fear of losing money anymore. You'll choose based on values and vision. To be the master of your own life means you hold the right to decide the path, the pace, and how you savor each moment. And around you, there won't just be numbers, projects, or achievement boards. There will be a network of strategic allies, people you've met, traveled with, and weathered storms alongside. They won't just be business partners, but missing pieces that completed your vision. Together, you turned ideas that once seemed impossible into legacies, leaving a mark not just in your field, but in the hearts of those you've touched. Looking back, you'll see that the wealth you hold can't be measured only by assets or the numbers in your account. It's in the freedom you live with, the positive impact you've left, and the legacy you're building for those who come after you. You didn't just build a career. You built a story, a journey where others can find inspiration, faith, and the strength to keep going. Your life will feel like a hero's journey, arriving at its brightest chapter. Action and vision no longer beat as separate rhythms. They flow together like two lifelines feeding one heart. You've not only achieved material success, but also found that deep, quiet fulfillment. The knowing that you've lived true, that you've given, that you've created something greater than yourself. You'll remember the days standing at crossroads, the sleepless nights filled with questions, the times you had to choose between safety and bold steps. And you'll smile, because now you see, every choice, right or wrong, was a stone needed to pave this road. Aries, the greatest reward isn't in what you have, but in who you've become. You've learned to place your strength, not only in your hands, but in your mind and your heart. You've created not just for beauty, but for lasting value. You understand now. Success isn't just the destination. It's the ability to make every step part of the bigger picture. And here you stand, on a peak that is both solid and open. You're no longer just a conqueror. You are a guide, a living proof that perseverance, courage, and trust in your own intuition can turn a single idea into a legacy. One morning, when the first light of day slips through your window, you'll feel a peace that's different, not because you've finished everything, but because you know you're living in rhythm with your life. Each moment now is the distillation of 18 years of resilience, steadfastness, and love for yourself and for the world around you. And from that place, a new sky will slowly open, a space where you'll see everything you've built was never just for you to shine, but to plant seeds for the next journey, one where your influence and your light will touch even more hearts and reach beyond the limits of time. Aries, close your eyes for a moment and picture yourself standing under an endless sky where the horizon stretches with no end in sight. You take a deep breath, feeling the pure, crisp air fill your chest. There are no more invisible walls holding you back, no more whispers of doubt sneaking into your mind. There is only you and complete freedom. In this moment, you know you've walked a long road filled with twists, turns, and sleepless nights. You've tasted failure. You've stood back up after moments when you thought you couldn't go on. You've tried, stumbled, learned, and stretched beyond who you once were. All of it has shaped someone who knows exactly who they are and what they want. And here in this wide open space, you understand why the universe has placed in your hands the code to step into your next chapter of prosperity. This code isn't a rigid formula. It's a living reminder, a light within you that stays lit even in your darkest days. It tells you, I act with confidence and vision. My prosperity has no limits because I am the creator of my own destiny. Confidence not because everything is certain, but because you know you can adapt, stand firm, and meet any change head on. Vision not about seeing every detail of the future, but recognizing the direction and trusting that each small step will take you there. And above all, the awareness that you are the author of your life, a truth that gives you a power no one can take away. Aries, when you start living by this mantra, every decision you make will carry a different energy. You won't be pulled into fear or hesitation like before. You'll move as if the universe itself is clearing the way ahead, because it is. Each choice becomes a seed planted with the unshakable trust that it will grow, whether in the season of rain or the season of drought, and soon you'll find yourself seeing life differently. Obstacles won't be reasons to stop, but steps that lift you higher. Opportunities won't slip away out of fear. You'll welcome them with an open heart. Dreams won't be shelved for someday. They'll become promises you keep for yourself and for those watching your journey. Let this mantra merge with your breath, become part of your blood and bones. Say it as the morning begins, so it sets the tone for a day that matters. Whisper it as night falls, so it soothes and strengthens the dreams to come. Repeat it when facing a hard decision, to remind yourself that the choice is yours, and you are fully capable of turning it into something good. One day, you'll realize you're no longer just saying it, you're living it. Every step, every glance, every word from you will reflect confidence, vision, and the unshakable knowing that you are the creator. That's not just the power of success, it's the power of inner peace, the kind that comes when you know you are walking the right path, no matter how many turns it takes. And as you keep moving forward, this mantra will no longer be yours alone. It will travel, reaching those who need to hear it, inspiring them to stand up and claim their own destiny, because true light never shines for one person only. It spreads, illuminates, and connects hearts that beat in the same rhythm. From here, every sunrise you greet won't just be the start of another day, but a confirmation that you are living fully in the strongest version of yourself. And when the sun sets, you'll know this journey, the one you've written yourself, with every choice, every action, every moment of faith in who you are, is still unfolding, leading you toward things greater than you've ever imagined.